the archetype of the woman is the emotional body. The archetype of the man is the mental body. The emotional body, we find out in ourselves, is the causal point of the quality of our human experience. The causal point of the quality of our human experience is being determined by the condition of woman on this planet. And we can take a look. Women have two roles. They're either whores, prostitutes, and being prostituted for manipulation, for gain, for profiteering, or they're mothers, they're breeders. That's the only roles that they're being given. There's no other role. Otherwise, if they want another role outside of that realm, they have to behave like a man. If they want to run for a power position, they've got to behave like a man. So a woman doesn't even know what a woman is. And a man doesn't know what a man is because a man hasn't yet entered the role or entered the archetype of creating a safe space for a woman to be. There are no safe women on this planet. Women are not safe here. They're pursued creatures. They're completely pursued and for manipulation to sell products, to breed children, and to become orgasmobiles, right? When the mental body agrees not to have an orgasm and therefore has no point of destination, what becomes obvious is that, say, if I take the orgasm out of my sexual experience as a man, what's going to become obvious to me is where I've been manipulating my entire experience with my partner so I can have my orgasm. I won't see that behavior of manipulation until I remove until I no longer have that destination point. Because when I don't have the destination point, all that manipulation behavior has no point. There's no point to it. And so what that's going to show me from the heightened point of the sexual experience is where I'm doing that in every aspect of my life. Where am I entering a situation, like, for example, am I entering a presentation with a destination in mind? Am I entering that room to get an applause? Am I going to manipulate what's happening to get that outcome? Where am I manipulating everything in my life? And what we find out is we're continually manipulating our experience. What we're really doing is we're continually manipulating God for an outcome that we think we should be having, instead of being able to receive, right, what's really being given to us. So that the one role that sexuality plays is it enables us to see where we're manipulating things to accomplish destination consciousness. That destination consciousness is what's creating mortality consciousness. When I no longer have destination, when I no longer have the orgasm as my point of reference in the sexual experience, then I'm no longer entering sexuality just so that I can get my rocks off and get my pleasure. Then if I'm entering sexuality as a way to give and support my companion, then I'm going to enter a journey consciousness. It's more a giving than a getting state. And that will transform my entire relationship with all my experiences in life, where I'm entering life as a journey, not as a point of destination. Most of us, our point of destination is death. Orgasm for the mental body is also death. The mental body has an orgasm, it's dead, right? It's the same with us. We're navigating towards death. For most human beings, they can't wait for death. Because death means, okay, now I won't be married to this person anymore. I'm not going to get divorced. I'm just going to wait until I die and it'll be over, right? Death means I don't have to do this job anymore. Death means I don't have to live in this place anymore. Death means I don't have to... Death is we're just waiting to die so we can get this over with. And that creates a mortality consciousness. Whereas saying, you know what? There's two things that no human being can deny. The one is we don't have a memory of not being alive. That's the one. We don't have a memory of not being alive. Even if we've only been living for 12 years, we still won't have a memory of not being alive. That's the one. The other is the one fact we cannot deny. Only other people die. Only other people die. That is a fact. No one can deny that. Only other people die. And so when we allow ourselves to feel that resonance, that also will help to remove that destination consciousness, that waiting for death so that everything will be fine after death. But sexuality can really help in removing that manipulation consciousness. Also, anytime we enter a very high frequency experience, like someone was telling me today in a one-on-one, they couldn't understand what happened because they were in a meditative, prayerful state, and they had an experience which was akin to them as Jesus coming to them. They had this visitation from this being or this presence that to them was Jesus to them. And it was just the most profound experience. And then it lasted for a day or two, the resonance, and then they went into a state of deep depression afterwards. And they couldn't understand what had happened. And they thought that something had gone wrong. No, that was the gift of the visitation. The visitation, when we expose ourselves to a high frequency or a vibration, what's going to happen is going to bring into our awareness the blockages that are stopping us from having that experience, right? So it's the same with sexuality. If we explore sexuality from a point of intimacy, not from a point of pleasure and getting our rocks off and an addiction so that I feel better about myself, but actually in being with each other, in journey consciousness, in giving to each other, the sexual experience is going to be of such a high frequency that within a day or two, and it's also important that when we're having that level of sexual experience, that we don't have sexual experience often, because that sexual experience has consequences, and those consequences can take 2, 3, 4 days, a week to unfold. What will unfold is that then sexuality becomes a healing tool, because what it'll do is it'll bring up low frequencies, right, that are blocking us from living in that heightened state of vibration. The low frequencies will come up. Over the next day or two, we'll have upsets between us, between myself and my companion, for example, that I'm exploring intimacy with. There'll be triggers that will come up of upsets or emotional blockages to be cleared. And those emotional blockages will have been unearthed by the high vibration of that sexuality. So, sex isn't just for making babies, isn't just for getting rocks off and doing those and, making myself feel better about things. It's also not to be avoided and seen as sinful. It's a profoundly powerful healing tool to show us something about ourselves. Sexuality can show us things about ourselves that no other experience can, because it is so heightened and because it is so intimate.